Late last night, myself and Craig recorded an impromptu chinwag. It was to basically promote that three of our guys were over at the INDiSC World Championships. Now, because of the time frames, which is basically we're over here in rainy old England and everybody's over there sunning it up in California and having a jolly good time, when we were discussing it, there was still quite a lot of time left to play in that day's play. So we talk about Kirk, we talk about Neil, and we talk about Andy Foster. What you're going to see now is a conversation that happened before Andy got his epic third place in the classic Target match play event, which was the first event. Absolutely amazing from Andy. I just want to say a massive congratulations to him. The jet lag and just everything of going over there. He was winning it at one point as well, but make no mistake about it, third place is really good news. It's great for Andy, great news, a huge boost I certainly feel to the UK scene that somebody can go over there and perform so well. So well done, Andy. I just didn't want to put this video out. I'm actually having to re-edit this video now, which is why it's a little bit later, but I didn't want to put this video out with the knowledge that he'd done ever so well. So well done, Andy. Kirk, Neil, go for it, fellas. Have a really good next few days. Hopefully myself and Craig, I was going to say myself and Craig talking through this video, will explain all the nuances of this particular World Championship. It's not I won't teach you anything. Craig's going to tell you everything about it, and I'll just sort of sit there going, There you go. Anyway, we'll be covering it again. The final day is on the Sunday, so myself and Craig, amongst other things, and maybe some footage from the People's Pinball Republic, and it's just Pinball Republic, obviously, on Sunday as well. So we'll have a little bit of another sort of mishmash chinwag back on Tuesday when we'll sort of go back over exactly what's happened at these fantastic World Championships. All the links are below. I'll leave it there, so if you want to go and follow it, please do. It was all streamed live. Andy was streamed live as well last night. Absolutely amazing. Great job. Here you go, myself and Craig. Good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening. Very late. Good evening, good night, really. I'm not saying goodbye. I'm just saying it's quite late at night. Myself and Craig, who's kindly joined me to talk about a very prestigious tournament that's happening at the moment. Before we get into that, because we've actually got three guys from the UK who'll be known to many of you who are out there flying a flag. I was going to say it's definitely the Union Jack because Craig's because Neil's involved. So, but he is still, as I understand it, at the time of recording this, Scotland is still part of the United Kingdom. Bit of satire for you there. Because we got the World Championship, the World Championships, Craig, right?
That's right. Yeah. So, it's called the Open World Championship. So basically, the place that they are at is in INDiSC, which what has always been one of the biggest tournaments in the world anyway. So it's called It Never Drains in Southern California. That's what it stands for, and they've always run one of the biggest tournaments anyway. But a couple of years ago, it basically because of its stature on the pinball calendar, the IFPA contacted them and said, "We'd like to offer you world championship status," effectively. And so I don't know if you guys are aware about this but PAPA, which is the Professional and Amateur Pinball Association, which is the other big organization other than the IFPA. So IFPA is the one with the world pinball player ranking points, which you will have seen, and which everybody in the UK kind of understands is the way that all these tournaments are ranked through the IFPA. Now, PAPA is the other organisation that existed actually before the IFPA, and PAPA was a physical place in Pittsburgh, and you could go there, and every year there's a world championship. And the amazing thing about it was anyone could go. So you could go, Chris, and you could turn up as long as you paid your money to get there, and I think it was like $100 to enter. Or no, actually, it was no entry fee because you buy tickets in the same way as we did at Daventry. You buy a ticket for your entry, and you can compete against Keith Elwin, Kaylee George, Raymond Davidson, all the best players in the world. They'll be there because it's a world championship, and it was open. But unfortunately, in COVID, Papa that organization decided that, and Papa were also the people that ran Pinburg. So you've heard me talk about Pinburg before, and Neil's talks about it all the time. So Pinburg was the biggest tournament in the world, 1,000 players. They decided that they basically couldn't afford to run it anymore, because they had a unit which was 500 machines and stuff, and they just couldn't afford to keep it going. So they sold off all their machines, and basically dissolved the organization a bit, and it became the Replay Foundation, which still exists, but Pinburg in the foreseeable future won't run, and the same as Papa. So the Papa World Championships, which was the other one than the IFPA World Championships, came off of the calendar. And so the IFPA decided that after the Papa, INDiSC was the next biggest and best tournament that existed. And so they declared that INDiSC was now going to be, that the main tournament at INDiSC was going to be called the Open World Championship. And so there's been one series of that, which was it last year? Or I get lost because of COVID, but it's happened once before. So just to clarify as well, so the IFPA World Champ, I think it's like with other sports. There's
darts.
Basically,
it sounds like darts.
Exactly right.
BDA and the P whatever.
Yeah, that's it. PDA is it? I think it's maybe, professional darts. Yeah, exactly the same. So basically, two big organisations that had existed, and Papa has kind of fallen away. Well, the IFPA didn't have any, outgoings as such, because it doesn't exist as a place. It's just
no overheads. Yeah.
Exactly. Whereas obviously Papa and the Replay Foundation had, massive facility which they had to run, and people they had to pay and all that kind of stuff. So COVID didn't affect them. But just to clarify, basically the big difference was Papa was open to anybody that would turn up. So you would get 500 players flying in and trying to compete for the World Championship. The IFPA runs once every year a World Championship, either in Europe or in the States, but only the top 64 people in the world get invited.
Okay.
So that's again, it's like golf,
That's your Masters.
Exactly right. So you're playing, you're competing all year in all of the tournaments in order to try to earn enough ranking points in order to get into the top 64 to earn your place to go to the World Championship. So that's the IFPA World Championship. Josh Sharp, who's the head of the IFPA, decided we need to continue the idea that anyone can rock up and win a World Championship concept. And so then this is where INDiSC was the one, and they deemed it as an unbelievable tournament, so they've given it World Championship status. So it's kind of elevated it even further. And without Papa on the calendar, all those people now flock there and compete in this. The idea that you could become a world champion at this thing, me or you could have gone. Anyone could go. As long as you're in there. Now, I think I'm not 100% sure on that now. I think there is a limit. You had to apply and get your place in there, and the format has changed slightly as well, which we'll talk about in a bit. But all the best players are there basically. So, and the fact that we've got 3 guys from the UK going over there, representing the UK, not our country,
England,
the UK, is amazing, including the number 1 in the UK, Andy Foster, who at the minute is just head and shoulders above everybody else in the UK in terms of the number of points that he's earned. I think he's in the top 40 in the world. He's absolutely flying. So that hence the reason that we're basically putting this out now, so that we can hopefully get a bit of a following for Andy and for Kirk and for Neil. And if one of them could make the finals and get onto the live stream, would be unbelievable.
Okay, so we're just going to pop up the schedule now. Obviously, this is not British time. But so 11, you'd have to extrapolate that for yourselves, I'm afraid. Welcome to the Fliporama. Do it yourselves. So 11 a.m., 11 p.m. Is clearly. So sorry, where is it? Where is this one held?
So it never drains in Southern California. So
Southern
California.
California.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. So you've got Thursday. You've got the Open qualifying. There's some classics now. Myself and Craig have just had a little look on the website, which the link will be in the description below. I'll read it out. It's basically neverdrains.com. Go and check out neverdrains.com. It will basically be on there. We've checked it out. Neil and Kirk, we've definitely seen some qualifying already from them on both the main tournament and the classic. So go and check it out. There is an updated live scoreboard up there where you can track what everybody's doing. Then we've got high stakes qualifying, which you're going to have to explain to me in just a second, please, mate. Women's qualifying, which I think is probably self-explanatory, and seniors qualifying, which I guess that's what I'd be going over and doing if I was over there, and maybe the women's one as well if I stuck a wig on. What's the high stakes one?
So as you can see, there's a load of tournaments. The high stakes one is for basically it's designed for all the very best players, because you are the way that this tournament works is the same as the way that Wayne and Paul, so Wayne Johns and Paul Garner, that run Daventry.
The scoreboard looks exactly the same.
They have taken Carl D'Angelo, who is the man who runs INDiSC, so he has made it open source,
Nice,
and everybody can use it. His system, which is the system that they run for INDiSC, and so now that has become the Never Drains system. Has become the kind of the epitome of pinball in tournaments, in the way of doing it. So Paul and Wayne use their system. So what for Daventry, as we know, it's a 3-ticket entry, isn't it? You've got to do 3 machines, and it's that. So that was what we always called as a kind of a baby version of the Papa ticket, a shortened version of the Papa ticket. So INDiSC now are doing the Papa ticket. So it's 5 games. You've got to be consistent over 5 games, and that will be one of your tickets. Yeah. So if you screw up one game, you're basically not going to do it. So you've got to be consistent over 5, and you'll see, and and there's already over 300 people listed on the Never Drains app. So the game scores are going to be huge. And the consistency over those 5 games is going to be massive as well, So yeah, basically that was important to say. So there's 5 or 6 different tournaments. There's classics. There's the Open, which is the one where you get the title of being the world champion if you win the Open.
Yeah.
But as well as that, there's a high stakes tournament, which is effectively you buy your entries, and it's $50 per entry. So you play your 5 games, and it's $50 a go. So that hence the reason it's high stakes, because these games are set up unbelievably brutal. If you have one bad game, then you're paying another $50 to go. So
tell us about a brutal. How do we set this game up brutally?
So Carl D'Angelo, he's the one of the biggest streamers on Twitch. He is IE Pinball, Inland Empire Pinball, and that is how you are able to watch INDiSC for over this weekend. So I'm sure Chris will put all the links at the bottom here, but IE Pinball is unbelievable. The best pinball streamer out there, in my opinion. Jack Danger is great as well. Sure. And he's probably the most well-known one, but in terms of actual quality streaming, and in terms of quality streaming tournaments, Carl is the best, and IE Pinball is the place and the channel. You'll see it as soon as you go on it. The quality is amazing. So Carl runs the tournament, and he's also one of the best players in the world. He's certainly in the top 20, and you should check out some of his streams anyway, because he puts up, he's on the new code on Godzilla. I was watching your Godzilla one the other day, mate. The one that you did at Flipout, I think it was, wasn't it? Or I don't know. I can't remember what it's called.
I can't remember. I can't remember. I don't think it was me. Probably someone else.
That was it. Yeah. 12 billion Carl got. 12 billion. He played for over an hour and a half on the new code. It's like unbelievable, the talent, the skill that he's got. And the thing is, he doesn't even play in the World Championship because of the amount of time and effort that he puts into the running of it. It's just incredible. But yeah, so I've heard him speak about his games and stuff, and so it's not just him. It's not just Carl. It's Jim Belsito and Bob Matthews, and I think there's a whole other team of obviously people, but they're all top players, and so they don't just brutalize them uniformly. They'll treat each game individually. So, for example, like let's say Roadshow. I heard you talk about Roadshow the other day. So the scoop is a really, really important shot on Roadshow, and or Adam's Family. Let's say Adam's Family because everybody knows that. Adam's Family, the chair, the scoop, the shot on that. Basically the huge strategy on Adam's Family is to shoot the scoop, shoot the ramp, shoot the scoop, shoot the ramp, and what he might do is put massive rubbers on either side of that scoop in order to make it really tricky for it to shoot. Yeah, or he might put lightning flippers on it, so the smaller flippers or something like that. So it's hard to kind of say like exactly how to do it, but they'll be brutal. He does say that the tilts aren't like trigger sensitive to the point so you can get to play, and so I think that's the other thing as well, because they're streaming it and they want it to grow the event. They also want the best players in the world to be able to play the best. Do you know what I mean? And so
show some skills.
Exactly. If it just becomes a tilt fest because the how brutal the game is set up, then they don't get to see that. But the other thing with this is because it's a ticket entry. These guys, they're all Kaylee George, Raymond Davidson, both Zach and Josh Sharp, all the best players that are there, and they'll quickly learn the way that the best way to play these games, unpick them. And Andy and like Andy Foster has a chance. Do you know what I mean? Like it'd be unbelievable if we can get him, to the later stages of INDiSC. You can imagine if we could have a world champion who's from the UK.
Oh, I mean, it'd be amazing.
It would just be unbelievable, wouldn't it? And the idea that he's flying over there, spending thousands of pounds, in order to trip of a lifetime to do it. It'd be brilliant if we could get loads of people tuning in and watching what's going on over there, and especially if we can get them on the live stream, in those later stages, it would just be fantastic. It really would. But yeah, the qualifying is started today. So we're filming this on Thursday. I know it's going to go out tomorrow, but it started on Thursday, and then the finals will be Saturday and Sunday. I don't know what the cut is. I think it all depends on the percentages on how many people they'll take through. So if it's 300, then it will be like 64. If it goes to 400, then it might be 72 or whatever. So the cut line will be different, but and then there'll be buys and all that kind of thing. So if you're the number one player, then you'll get 2 buys and all that kind of thing. But just watch the stream. I think it might be streaming now. I think that it started at 9 o'clock, the stream on the schedule. So i.e. Pinball on that website, they will tell you all the times that they're streaming. And yeah, it'd be great to just follow the progress of our guys.
Who's the champ?
So the reigning champion of INDiSC is Eric Stone. Eric Stone, he's unbelievable player. I think he's definitely in the top 5 in the world currently. But he's a weatherman, and he.
Oh, what for a job?
Yeah, he's a weatherman. Yeah. Yeah, so that's his nickname, the weatherman, obviously. But he, a lot of these guys, like Keith and Zach Sharp and Katie George, they've been competing and playing in all of these tournaments for 20 years. So everybody knows their names. Eric Stone came onto the scene like 3-4 years ago, and he's been playing for 20 years, but not really competing against anybody else. And he turned up to this tournament in the States, and it was the culmination of it was effectively like what we have in the UK, the UKCS, where all the tournaments, and it's like the finals of it. And he won both the tournaments against all these players. And they were like, "Oh my god, who is this guy?" And now he's just crushing it. And so he won it last year. The year before that, it was a guy called Colin Urban, who is, I think at the time he was 17. So it wouldn't surprise me if we get. So Escher Lefkoff's there, Colin Urban's there, Alexander Kazmarchik's there. So all these young guys who they're all below 20, including some of them. I put a post up on Pinball Info probably a month or so ago about a guy called Arvid Flygar, a Swedish guy. He's gone. He's out there. He's a 13-year-old boy with his dad. He's gone out there and he's playing in the World Championship, and he's number 5 in the world currently. It's just going to be it's exciting. It is exciting, and the coverage is as good as it gets. What Tim does for Pinfest is unbelievable. This is next level. This is because he's just spent thousands and thousands and thousands on this equipment. It's just incredible to watch. So I would really encourage it.
There's obviously a prize pot for this. Do you know how much they're paying?
I think it's last year it was a new inbox Munsters Premium.
That's why Neil's gone out there. That's why he's gone. He can resist. He can resist the Munsters.
That's it. Neil wanted the Munsters. No, so I don't know. I think that plus $1,000. I think it was, and I think second prize was like $5,000 or something like that. And then the high stakes.
So around say, can I have the second prize, please?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I think the high stakes last time was about 5,000 for first place as well. So that, and obviously, so that's the one that the pot just gets built and built and built because more and more people add entries, and there's $50 a pop in order to do that. So that's why the high stakes goes there. So yeah, so I think I'm guessing it will be a new inbox game plus some money for the champ. But the title of being a world champion in anything is just unbelievable in it. So
yeah.
And our guys have got a shot, they're there. You've got to be in it to win it. It'd be amazing, So let's.
You said Kirk's popped up a good score today. I couldn't find it because we've sort of jumped on straight away here, but apparently Kirk's popped up.
I think so. Yeah, I haven't got my phone on me. I haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure. And I think Andy's putting in a decent score. It's obviously early days, and a lot of these scores will bleed. So a lot of people will pass them, but maybe not. Maybe not if it's an absolutely amazing score.
I've been there, Craig. I've been there, mate. I've been there. I've been sat there at number 24 thinking, hello, what's all this? It's a tournament, like it's nice and easy. And all these other people, Johnny come latelys, I call them, rock up on a Sunday and knock you down. You know the type.
I do know the type, mate. Yeah,
I've been the type. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's it. And that's the thing. So we'll see what happens. And it's a 5-game ticket, to be consistent on five of these games that are set up so brutally. And the thing is as well, and this is the other thing that I think is mainly Jim Belcito, who is one of the other guys who runs it. He's got this vast array of different machines, this crazy collection, and what they.
Hold on. Let's go back to that. So all these games are one person's.
So for the tournament, they would be a combination of Carl's, Jim's, Bob's games, and people that they know there. Previously, it's been held. Neil would be able to just tell you all the names and stuff, but it was held at this convention center where it was even bigger than Papa. It was 500, nearly 800 games that they had permanently and only opened it 3 times a year in order to open it again because of COVID. They had to change venues and they had to sell off a load of their games. This is the first time it's ever been here.
Right.
But what I was saying, so Jim prides himself on putting in things into the tournament bank, the bank of games that are oddballs, weird stuff, not just all the latest Sterns.
Yeah.
Stuff that notoriously has been non-tournament friendly. Things that they've got an exploit in them or whatever, and he'll make a way of it to be able to be in the tournament. So again, you're going to see stuff on stream that you probably will have never have thought, like weird, Data East stuff, and just weird. Like I Rescue 911 was the one that they talked about last year a lot. In the end, it got pulled from the tournament because they did it and find an exploit on it, and people, Keith Elwin was playing for 2 hours on the one game kind of thing, so, and all that kind of stuff. But again, it's a really interesting tournament. They go out of their way to try and do it, so because everybody knows that certain games are good for tournaments, and they rewrite those rules almost. They are the epitome. They are the very pinnacle of what running a pinball tournament is like. And so to win this tournament, you deserve the title of being the world champion.
But they do this in golf. They move the pins to the most difficult position on the green in the final rounds. That's what they do. So if you don't get this right, it's particularly the Masters, it's just going to trickle off the edge and roll into a bunker. So I mean, I guess you've got to make it tough. I totally understand the having 5 games to get your average. I think I prefer the 3 because you can fluke it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Have a really barnstorming run and prop it up. But I think it certainly is exciting. And obviously, I know your family commitments. I mean, you must wish you were out there yourself.
Oh God, like I live it. I've been messaging them all, since they've been out there, because I'd love to. I would, if money was no object and time was no, it wasn't. I would love to do it every year. It's one of these, in the same way as Neil does. I mean, he makes the effort and goes. But for Andy, I think this is what I really why I really wanted to speak to you, because Andy is our number 1 player.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And normally, in a world championship, because of financial commitments or whatever, we can't necessarily always get the best player in the country there. We've got the best player in the country there. He's there. He is, hands down the guy, and he's made the huge commitment, and he's a brilliant player, absolutely amazing player. And the format, I think, will suit him. There'll be games in there because Andy knows some weird games and stuff, and he'll know the rules on this stuff, and he'll work it out. So, and not to say that Kirk and Neil can't do it. They can. They absolutely could qualify. But he's our number 1 guy. It's a rare thing. Andy's never done it before. He's never travelled like this before. Never gone over to the States, other than for Pinball, which is a bit different. But to play in the World Championship, it would just be. Not to build any pressure or anything. I don't think he would feel that anyway. But it's just awesome.
Well, Neil's in good form because obviously that tournament that I played in when it was last Thursday, Neil won that. Neil won that. So which was obviously would have been a good confidence boost for him. You say Kirk's posted up a good score. I'm actually just searching for it now as we're talking. And I mean, Andy. I mean, the other thing about Andy is, Andy's a great guy, and he's very accessible as you all are. You go to a tournament, you get to play against him. I was when we had the last tournament, Neil's, I was drawn in a group with Andy. I think it was Stranger Things. Yeah, I mean, which was really interesting. Just stood there watching him, particularly as it comes around that orbit, exactly the same as you do as well. By the way, when playing Elvira and you're smacking the side of the machine to get it away from it, going for he did it straight away, and I saw him bang, and he was whacking it. Not as high up, actually. Funny enough, not as actually. No, he was. He's really leaning high up on the machine.
He does. He leans forwards and hits the middle of the cabinet to knock the ball. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really interesting, and so you get to see these people close quarters, and there's no doubt about it. You pick these things up, and funny enough, I'm doing it on that at the moment because that's got a similar orbit when it comes around there, and particularly off the launch when you hold the left flipper button in and you launch it, it will come round. If you don't tease it away, you haven't got to give it a big whack. To be fair, just a little bit, and so you pick up these habits of these fantastic players, and and I think it's really good. I'm sort of hoping at Pinfest this year, actually, because what did we get? 75
the last one, which was smaller than other years. We've had over 100 in the past. I think it was because it was the first one after COVID and all that kind of thing. So it'd be great if we could get up to about 100 again.
I just want to keep pushing it as well, and particularly
exactly
just everybody because what happens is it's like you were saying about the high stakes tournament. Everybody pays their £10 or their £20. It increases the pot, and Wayne and Paul do run it beautifully. I mean, it was such a well-oiled machine, and it's there. I know it's not on this grand scale, but you've got the screens there, and you can track it all, and it's all going on. And what it does, it increases the prize pot there as well. Right. Makes the tournament bigger. And just gives the people that win. Not for you. I'm going to take your title this year. You understand? I've been practicing. I'm slapping the side of the machine. I've been watching these tutorial videos on my own channel, which some geezers has been doing. And
it's all easy, mate. It's easy.
And a bounce pass and the ski pass and all the stuff. I've got it all going on. I've got 1.8 billion on that last night. You're lucky you didn't get a text at 1 a.m. Quite
now
frankly.
We're cooking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Can you start seeing how the 30 billion might be possible yet or not? After
yes.
Ian's explained it a bit more, yeah.
Ian was great on that. Yes, I can. Yeah. The mode stacking on it. I mean, it's so funny when you get into it. So yes, if you can wait to hit that multiplier. Which is in the back cave thing. If you can wait to hit that, hit the bookworm. Or
Right.
sorry, hit the TV one, which launches another villain as well. But wait until you're at back cave until you've done a continue. So you've got 3 times on the villain that you're on. So say 3 times Joker. Then you stack it with another minor villain mode, and you hit the back cave, which doubles it up on there, and then you hit multi-ball. So you've got to do all those 3 things. Oh, okay, and it's bang, all these scores start flying up.
Okay.
You muck one of those up, then none of it's happening. But if you did that 3 times during the game, I reckon you could do it. But this is the thing about knowing these games. But not you. I mean, you would never try and do that in a tournament, which is what we're talking about. That's too.
You
That's
say
too
that.
much.
So I don't know the game. I don't
No.
know Batman 66 very well. I know Wayne when I think he borrowed the one from Tilt maybe, or was it? I might have been Steve Paget's game from Electric Circus. He got over 100 billion on it.
What?
Yeah, he did.
100 billion.
Yeah, 100 billion. Yeah. So that's. I think this is the thing about Batman 66. And it's all to do with Mr. Freeze. I don't. Like.
Well, he stops your timers. He stops the timers. So I guess your timer, because your timer runs out on the playfield multiplier. I guess if that's not running out, then you're standing off. I would. Listen. There you go.
But Asher Lefkoff, so the guy. So I always mention it because he's just unbelievable. He's the reigning Papa World Champion. He won it when he was 13. I've seen him on stream in a tournament, in one of the biggest tournaments in the US. Put over 50 billion on Batman.
That's a long game. He has been playing it a long time.
Yeah. And if there was he would find a way because if you know the rules in depth and know the exploits, if you like. So I think that's the thing. So Wayne said he was just like he didn't really want to play Batman 66 again because he was bored of it because he'd worked out the way that he could do it, and so then that was it, So
and it's not a particularly dangerous game, Craig. I've got to say, there's a lot of other games I've had here which are more fraught with danger. You can sort of keep it away from the slings. You can keep it out of the out lanes a little bit. It's everything's sort of up there, so you've got time for it. Even I can see that in my limited skill set. You've got time for that, and I guess that's why they got to pick in these tournaments games that are a little more unforgiving. Or
set them up just in a way that just makes it impossible to do the thing that everybody would do.
Sure.
So for example, like I remember they did it on Party Zone. Party Zone's an older game, like I think it's 1991, something like that. And basically if you just shoot the ramp all day, or like Data East Star Wars, if you just shoot the ramp all day. So what I remember, one year they had Party Zone in the bank at INDiSC, and Jim had actually modified the ramp, cut the ramp so that it would fall off the ramp.
Really?
Yeah, that kind of thing. They do these mental things to just kind of, so it's impossible to do the repeating strategy. Like a lot of these games now have had new ROMs made for them. So. Like Theatre of Magic, you and Spencer have obviously talked a lot about Theatre of Magic. For me, Theatre of Magic is the most boring game in the world because I just play it one way. I just hit the left orbit over and over and over and over and over and over, and that's it. That's all and because it just becomes such a dominant strategy, and I can't, I've scored, I don't know, 10 billion on Theatre of Magic because it's just, you get into a routine of just doing it and just hitting it and over and over and over. And so, like, what people have done now is they've come up with ROMs, which mean that you can't do that. So you have to play it other ways. And so a lot of these games in this bank at INDiSC at the World Championship will have these new ROMs, these new updated. Yeah. Soren is the guy, Danish guy, who has made these ROMs that a lot of these competitive players follow, and they kind of go making these games a lot more interested,
Yeah, I think you've got to do that. I guess as tough as it may be, they can't have someone having hour and a half games on there. It's a bit of a tournament killer, really, isn't it? Let's be honest. Exactly. So let's have you're gonna join us. Well, it doesn't matter. So for Tuesday, this is an extra Chinwag. We'll still do Tuesday. So I'm intending on going down to Flipout and play on Sunday. Yeah. So I'll try and. Sorry if you're there and I talk to you and try and stick a camera in your face. Apologies. But the Chinwag's got to be made somehow. But on that, myself and Craig will sandwich him a little review of of the results on this. So before that happens, it would be rude if we were doing any other sport or game. Craig, I would be as the hostess with the mostest, be asking you, the pundit,
Yeah.
for a prediction, my friends. So let's have a top three, please, mate.
Okay. So let's say top four because
Okay.
there's
why are we doing top four?
because there's going to be 4 in the final. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, that's a good answer. I like it. That's why you're here.
That would make a lot more sense than 3.
I like it. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why they don't have going 3 in the final, but there you go. Yeah,
Okay.
you know your stuff. Come on in.
The finalists. Let's say so Asher Lefkov, he'll be there, I reckon.
Hold on. No, you're gonna have to do better now. You don't just chuck 4 names at me. I want them in sequential order. Who's coming fourth? Who's coming fourth?
Golly.
It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun.
Who's going fourth? Fourth is going to be let's say Alexander Kazmarchik.
He sounds like a chess player.
I've only thrown him in there because you're never going to be able to spell his name.
I'm not. I'm not even going to say what I've wrote. It actually looks like Kaz Machine the way I've written it. Anyway, yeah. But that's what his nickname is. He's not called the Weatherman. The Machine Kazmarchik. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Alexander Kazmarchik. We'll put Andy Foster.
Oh,
come on, Andy.
Come on.
Andy Foster. He's making the final in third.
Andy Total Foster. I know he's not. But anyway, I guess got a ring to it. Go on.
We'll put Raymond Davidson in second.
I can't think of a name for him. Has he got a Raymond Davidson?
Well, he's the world number 1 currently.
He's got to have a nickname. And he's got a nickname.
They called him the kid, but he's no longer the kid anymore.
Oh no, he's in the seniors.
He's got old. He's nearly 30 now. So there's a lot of younger kids. And then we'll put Escher at number 1.
Who?
Escher Lefkov.
Okay. Well, so no Keith Elwin in this one.
I don't think Keith's there.
Well, that'd be why.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be why. That's a really good reason. I like that.
I did have a little look at the list before, and I'm pretty sure Keith's not there. I'm pretty sure all 4 of those people that I've named are there. But yeah, I'd be happy to get 1 out of 4 right. But there's so many good players there. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's somebody who's under 20 that wins.
Well, it's there's already there. It looks like the cutoff, it says at the moment, is 40th.
Okay. It might go a bit deeper. I know that in high stakes, the cutoff is 16. So that's the other way they do it. Is they had, I think, over 200 people playing it last year in high stakes, but only took 16. So the cut is ridiculously high. And so, you're paying $50 each time to put your money in. So, it builds the pot. But then they guarantee if you're in the top 16, you're getting paid. So you're getting some money, that kind of thing. And it'll be the same for the top 40 in the Open as well. It'll be the same thing. So
what are these abbreviations on games? What's RG?
Roller games.
What's AS?
Aerosmith, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
If you click, I don't know. The Flintstones. There's so many weird games. If I click off, do I come off? Am I disappeared now?
I can't see you. Sorry, mate. I'm looking at the standings at the moment. Where you gone? Yeah, you've gone. You've gone.
I've
gone. That's all right. We can hear you.
I can't have a look. Okay, yeah. Let me just cycle through the games then.
The reason being is the person at the top at the moment, Levi
Neyman. Yeah.
He is top on 3. Number 1 on 3 games.
Okay, so
Alien Star. Okay, sorry, I've got it here. Atlantis. Yeah, Batman the Dark Knight. Okay. Diamond Lady.
See what that is? That's going to be some electromechanical thing that no one knows what they're doing. So Dirty Harry, that's interesting. So Dirty Harry, that's a classic game that lots of people know, but they'll have done something weird to that to make sure that doesn't play too long. Frankenstein, Frontier. So that's one of my favorites. I love Frontier. That's a classic Bally from 1981. Godzilla LE's there, so they've put the most recent a game in there. So again, they'll have bastardized that to make that really tricky. Laser Q. Well, that is. Anyone ever seen a laser Q? I'm sure there are people out there that have. Mystery Castle. James, who is what is it? Majestic Pinball, I think he is.
Okay. Yeah.
He's on the forum. He has done an amazing tutorial. Is that you, mate?
No, nothing. That must be you. Yeah. It's an amazing tutorial
on Mystery Castle. Is a really, really rare game. So I would encourage you to watch that as well, because I saw Neil post on the forum. He was really appreciative to James for putting that out, because again, it's a really, really rare one. So
really
knows how to play it. Yeah, James has put that out there. Party Zone, is that on there? Yes. So I was talking about Party Zone before, so it'll be the same machine that Jim snapped the ramp on before, so you couldn't continuously shoot it.
Absolutely. He's trying to stitch everyone up.
Robocop, we had that in Pinfest, didn't we? Roller Games is there. Sorcerer, and that's a classic. That'll be like big rubbers on the lock shot. Stargate, so that'll be an interesting one, because everyone just shoots the pyramid. Shoot the pyramid. Everybody knows that call out for Stargate, and so again they'll have done something to make sure that isn't possible. The Shadow, we know how much you love the Shadow. Turtles, the new Turtles, and WWF Royal Rumble. So again, out of that, there's not that many new Sterns, is there? Just a few, and you've got a whole mix of all eras of different games. Good. Exactly. If you're going to be the world champion, you've got to be the best on all different eras.
I totally agree, mate. I totally agree. Yeah, absolutely. That was nice, just to do that at Flipout the other night. That was really, really good. I mean, it's not about whether without doing it, I would have played Whirlwind. I thought, hey, it's not bad at all, and I quite enjoyed that. And Golden.
You had a nice score on that, like 1.7 million on Whirlwind. Whirlwind is a hard game, a really hard. Did you manage to shoot the ramp?
I don't know what I was doing on there.
So you on that top flip, you got that side race.
Yes.
It's just so brutally hard. Even with like the most powerful flippers, that shooting that ramp is just. It's ridiculously hard. So 1.7. That was a nice score, mate. Fair play to you.
Yeah, well, that was all. That was all right. I mean, I didn't. Genie was half a big lump of a machine, and it's a lot going. But I enjoyed that Quicksilver. I really did. I thought that was good.
Oh yeah, that
nice.
Game is. I know. I've only seen pictures, but Keith's obviously done a month. That game is like nothing else. So the drop targets, that bank of drop targets on that weird angle.
Yeah.
That like you'd think that doesn't work, and the strategy to that, right? That game, so cool. On the left flipper, you have the ball on the left flipper, and you backhand it off the drop targets and up the spinner, because the spinner is really important and the drop targets are really important. Bowen Kerins has done an amazing tutorial on it, and it's just awesome. And I remember, because I don't know how many Stern Quicksilvers there are in the country. Very, very few. Probably less than 5, I would imagine. And I remember when Neil got his and I had a go on it, and I was just like, that's the way. That's so cool. It's so different. It's so unique. It's like no other game that I've ever played. Very cool game. Very cool.
Yeah, I think you've got to have all of that, because you can very, very much become accustomed to the Stern style of the flipper on there.
Yeah.
And well, I guess the power of them. I guess they've all got they'll do different things. So it is good on there to get on there and do different things and try out different games as well. And I did enjoy the Shadow. I did. I thought, okay, because I haven't traditionally liked it. I thought, actually, this is better than I thought. Actually,
it's brutal. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. But it's a brilliant game. It's an absolutely awesome game. Obviously, it hasn't got the same kind of stigma that Medieval has and Attack from Mars has, but it's the first Brian Eddy game, and he smashed it out of the park, in my opinion.
The Shadow was his first game, was it?
Yeah, 94. Yeah, it was. Okay. It was. The layout is just awesome. It really is, and it's just so inventive with those daggers that for the diverters on the ramps and all that kind of stuff, and just looping. The loop combos on Shadow is so cool. Yeah, and did you manage to get the ball to like disappear behind that mirror in the middle? The ball lock up the middle. So if you shoot the three times up there, then the ball magnetizes on there, and it just goes and it just disappears. And I remember the first time I ever saw that, and I was just like, that's witchcraft.
Sure. Yeah.
What's just happened, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a pinball moment, isn't it? That's like when
It
you can't work out what's just happened, and then obviously the more you play it, you understand. But it's brilliant.
Yeah. No, I mean, I has. It was quite funny actually because it was in the tournament, and I'd had one game with Stan. That was it. I had a little chat with Stan, which was nice, and I had one game. That was it, and then it popped up in the tournament. Oh, okay, that's cool. I quite enjoyed that. So I love all this stuff. I think it's really good,
It's
and
good,
I would
mate.
encourage everybody and anybody to look. You can't be at the World Championships. Unfortunately, only 3 of our compatriots can, and we wish them all well. But you can go down to Flipout on Sunday, and I'm hearing rumours of cheesecake down there, but I'm not. But let's get this right. I've asked for cheesecake. If there's only a slither, you know, I mean, it can't be divided up between 30, can it? That's all I'm saying. But get yourselves down there because it's really good fun. It's a really relaxed atmosphere. You can play the games at your own pace as well, and it's just full of nice people, really, who are gonna help you. And it's competitive, but without being overbearing. Everybody else wants to help each other. And I told the story of my golden eye. It would have been easy enough for anybody just to say, oh, you know, he's such a quality player that I'll leave him. We don't need him having a third ball because he scored so high with his first 2. So it's so honest. So they waited around for me to finish my actually it wasn't that long because it wasn't a very long game with the one I was playing, but just a lovely place to go. So yeah, get yourselves down there.
Where is it? Sorry, yeah, where is it? Well, on Sunday.
Okay, so this is the Coffee Republic. No, it's not the Coffee. It's the People's Republic. No, it's the it's Pinball Republic.
Pinball
Republic. It's in Croydon. It's just off the Purley Way in Croydon. I'll put a link to it under this video. Go down there. We're going to have a right laugh. I'm going to take my daughter with me. There's some love. Matt's got some. They was having a lovely chat and about some of the kids stuff that they've got going down there. So yeah, Matt's got his kids going down there. I've got mine. Yen's kids are going down as Yen's bringing his son. There's quite a few ankle biters going down there, but you can kick them out of the way, I guess, when you want to play it. But you'll have to because some of them might beat you. Like Lucy, she'll.
Oh God, yeah, what a player!
I know,
what a player.
Naughty. Oh no, every time. Oh no, I think she's actually beaten me every single time. I've been drawn against her 4 times, but she whoops me every time. But she's welcome.
At the last tournament at Domino, I got drawn on Theatre of Magic, which I just said, like, I'm bored of it because I just know that game inside out. She absolutely destroyed me on it.
Excellent.
Took me to the cleaners, like quadrupled my score. Incredible. What a day she had there. It was just amazing. Yeah. So fair play to her. Fair play.
And she's so polite. She probably wasn't giving it a large one.
Oh, she was. She was giving.
Oh, was she? Oh, good. Good. Because if I beat you, I'll do a whole series of videos on it. To be honest, mate. I
think it was mainly egged on by Matt. To be honest, it's like the big high five.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, fair, and she deserved it because she played amazing. So fair play to her.
Yeah, she's really good. Right, okay, mate. Well, listen, thank you for joining us. Thank you for talking us through.
Pleasure. Right, so Andy Foster, UK number 1. Neil McRae, I think he's probably in the top 10 now. And then we got Kirk Sadler. So Kirk is the owner of Tilt in Birmingham. A top player. Let's follow him. Let's get beyond it. Get on neverdrains.com. Have a look where they are, and hopefully we'll get to see him on IE Pinball's Twitch as well. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, well, I'll go through all the links. All the links will be on this video. Sometimes it's not. I'll be honest with you, folks. It's not obvious, particularly when you're on a phone. If you're watching this stuff on a phone as well, or even on a TV, but there's a little arrow, tiny little arrow, where it's probably sort of not on my side, be on Craig's side over there, but down. There's a little arrow, and you click it to expand. It will say more details. You expand it. Then it's got a description of the video, and then on there I'll put everything down. I'll put the address of the website for Flipout or the People's Pinball Glass Smuggling Republic. It'll all be on there. IE Pinball, just everything you need to know, and all the scheduling from everything that's going on neverdrains.com as well. We'll be back to talk about the winners.
Well, let's hope that we're talking about one of our guys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when they're back in the UK, we'll get them on and talk about what they did. That would be
nice.
Over that. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be nice. If guys, if you are over, well, you are over there. If for some reason only one of the three of you watches this, swing your mobile phone around in there or whatever, send it to me, and I'll whatever you do, I will incorporate it in the next Chinwag, so we can see what you've been up to. That'd be nice to have some pictures of you and some stuff like that, which we can pop up while we're talking about you. Best of luck, Kirk. Best of luck, Neil. Best of luck, Andy. Guys,
smash it, lads. Smash it.
Do it well, Craig. Thank you very much, my friend.
Pleasure. Love that.
You and I tell you what, mate. When the kids are grown up a little bit, you and me will go over there, show them how it's done. I'll keep watching I'll keep watching the dodgy tutorials on the channel from the bloke, and we'll go there.
That'd be nice.
It'll be a different top four. Thanks, buddy. I'll see you soon.
Pleasure. Cheers.